Students, let us now check what is note making. Why we take or make notes? We make notes while reading a book or an article. Making notes helps to remember what we read or heard some time ago and also organize our thoughts better. So, if you want to organize something into a book form, or if you want to organize something, you can refer after some time. We usually make or take notes. So, what are the necessary skills for effective note making? We always write, but we also should check how effective it is when we have to revert to that particular writing back. So there is ability, it increases the ability to read attentively, ability to comprehend what is read, ability to distinguish between important and unimportant ideas. So let us check one after the other. Ability to read attentively. If you are making notes, that note making will definitely give you an idea about what you are reading, and in further it will also help you to read that particular topic effectively. What is the ability? It also increases the ability to comprehend what is read. If you are reading something and you have to understand it, comprehending is understanding. If you want to understand it properly, then you have to make notes. While making notes, we usually write it in the language we can understand. So it increases the ability to understand the text properly. The ability to distinguish between important and important ideas. We watch a movie and we want to discuss that movie with friends. What we do, we don't give the dialogues as they are heard, but we give them in our own language. So that is how we observe things, we understand them, and we also reproduce. When you are giving about a book, if you have to understand something, you have to understand it properly in your own words or in your own language. Then give it to the student, give it to your friends, or reproduce in the examinations, identifying what should be written, and that is using it in the proper sense. You write what is useful and that is important, and you leave what is unimportant so that you'll save the time also. The characteristic features of effective note making. Usually, note making is written in the form of points. Why they write it in points? We usually understand things in smaller sentences. So, if you write something in small sentence or not very in easy language, it helps us in identifying what we write and also useful for further reading. It may also be written in the form of tables, charts, and diagrams. So, note making is usually not just writing something in the book, but it is also making a note to identify for further use also. You can use the table form. In tabular forms, we usually fix the ideas so that the table is usually carried. We have geometrical tables, we have mathematical tables that make us understand the concept easier, and charts. In many cases, or uh, in scientific studies, or especially in science related programs, diagrams are usually given so that we understand the concept. Human brain or heart or kidney, function of kidney, they usually give it in the form of a diagram to make the study easy for memory. And listing all that is essential. When we list something that is really important for the further reference, we usually write it in the form of bullets and uh, something like points. It helps to go back with good memory. What are the guidelines on making notes? So note down the main or important points. First, making the notes involves your interest about the subject. If you are interested about what you are reading, we usually make notes. You can do this by looking for special words that introduce the new information. Not just reading, but emphasizing on what we read is called making notes. We use a clear layout with interline spaces, subheads, and bullets. It depends on how you make the notes. Remember, when you are preparing for exams, we don't write it the whole answer in a paper or in a book. But what we write what we understand so that we elaborate the other part of the answer to make it convenient for the examiner. We use clear layout with interline spaces, subheads and bullets. So subheads and bullets are usually written because we want to emphasize and make sure that we are not leaving any point unturned. Organize your notes so that they reflect how ideas were connected in the original text. So there is original text and there is something what you read. You write what is understood and you reproduce what is understood so that your ideas and whatever you write in the notes is useful for you in further reference. Nothing but how good you are in the reproduction. If it is oral, we usually speak. If it is written, we write the notes, check it further, check it 2 or 3 times so that we are not missing the track. Write down the points in short forms using words, phrases, and abbreviations rather than sentences. This note making is definitely very useful for seminars. If you want to go on a seminar, you want to present a paper, then what you should do, you have to read the whole topic, make your own points, and start speaking so that while you are making the notes, your preparation is so useful that you will never miss a point and everyone gives you a very good applaud. So writing down the points in short forms and using words and phrases abbreviations are also used. We don't write the whole sentence, we usually write it in abbreviations so that it is easy for us to identify. Drop all articles, pronouns, unless they are necessary in order to understand the notes. Use dashes to link the ideas. So we have to understand that note making is not reproducing the same text, but it is writing something in short forms. You can also use pie charts, tables, and flow charts for quick reference. So when you are preparing the notes itself, we should identify, can I fit the whole paragraph into a pie chart? Can I fit it in bullets or in points or subheadings? And it makes your work easy and the one who is reading also can understand the paragraph or can understand the text very easily. So let us identify the next one, skimming. Skimming is also a part of note making which involves checking the paragraph and answering the paragraph with the title or the title related sentence. So there is one paragraph here before you. Read the paragraph and you'll identify that the paragraph is about something, and that is called skimming. In skimming, we are not giving top to toe about the paragraph, but we are reading it and identify the title, identify the theme on what they are going to talk about in this particular paragraph. So there is another paragraph here for you. You can also check if you are reading paragraphs and if you are summing up the points, you can easily identify that this paragraph talks about this particular concept and this paragraph is giving these ideas and the memory is usually retained by reading rigorously. Usually, when you start reading, I think no one reads newspaper these days. But if you start reading newspapers and make it a habit to understand the concepts in the newspapers, it will definitely help you to identify new words in the vocabulary list. So there is another paragraph here. I gave you 4 or 5 paragraphs in a line to make things very clear for you. While you are making points or while you are answering something, you should always understand it's not the questions that you have to answer, It's the theme that you have to convey. When you are conveying others in the proper sense, they will never go with a doubt after you explain them. It means you have to understand the concept with clarity and try to reproduce it in good words so that the person who listens it or the one who is ready to hear it from you, they should feel comfortable, they should identify it properly. So I gave you some passages that is suitable for headings. If you can check these, I gave health issues in developing countries. So how to identify? There are main points, there are sub points, and there are points that can be framed under one umbrella. When you are skimming or when you are scanning the passage, we usually go with reading comprehensions. Many of you are taking competitive exams, and few of you are very much afraid of how to get with the correct answer. So the clue is don't read the paragraph because you have to answer, but understand that the paragraph involves questions that can be answered even for further use also. So the solutions and the problems, whatever arise while you are reading, the solution is very simple. Active reading will involve you the tactics of how to make up with the note making. So I think all of you have got about how to write note making and this passage, read this passage again closely and note down the sub points that come under each heading. So, what comes under malnutrition? Under nutrition, in rich and poor countries, the definition of type 2 diabetes, overnutrition, negative effects of eating highly nutritious food, causes of undernutrition, effects of low calorie diets in children. So, these are the heads that I could write about those paragraphs mentioned in the previous slides. If you start reading, you can understand this is very important, and always remember a paragraph usually has a theme and sub points to add for it. So this is about note making. Hope all of you understood it. If you have any doubts, you can just read the script again, read the PPT again, and you can always come back with your doubts. Thank you.